Nearly 50%. That's how much herbicide John Deere's See and Spray customers cut in 2025. Not 10%, not 20%, nearly half. Across 5 million acres. In a year with heavy weed pressure and a wet Corn Belt spring. And they still cut it nearly in half. If that number doesn't stop you right now and make you think about where your spray budget is going, I don't know what will. And that's just one number from one platform. By the time we're done today, you're going to have the complete picture on both Fendt Precision System ecosystem and John Deere's autonomous technology stack. Every real number verified for 2026. So you can decide which platform belongs on your operation and which one can wait. I want to be upfront from the start because FarmGear Pro doesn't do vague comparisons. These two platforms are not fighting over the same dollar on your operation. Fendt's Precision Systems are about input efficiency, making sure every pound of fertilizer, every ounce of herbicide, every seed goes exactly where it needs to go, at exactly the rate that acre needs. John Deere's autonomous technology is about labor efficiency, making sure your machines are running during every hour of every window your crop needs them, regardless of whether you have a qualified operator available. Both value propositions are real. Both address genuine pain points in 2026 farming. Your operating expense statements from the last 3 years will tell you which one matters more to your bottom line right now. Let's get into the numbers. Fendt's precision technology story in North America starts with Fendt 1. And I want to explain what it actually does in practical terms, rather than how Fendt packages it in marketing language, because the practical reality is more valuable. Fendt 1 connects every Fendt machine on your operation to your farm management workflow. Same interface on the machine display as on your phone or tablet. Same data flowing both directions in real time. Prescription maps going from your office to the machine and field documentation coming back automatically. Starting with model year 2026, every Fendt tractor, applicator and combine sold in North America comes with a 3-year PTx Farm Engage operations subscription included in the Gold Star Customer Care package at no extra cost. That subscription is a $600 per farm per year value that Fendt is bundling into the machine purchase to lower the adoption barrier for US operations that haven't fully committed to a precision ag data platform yet. Farm Engage is built with open API compatibility. It connects to John Deere's Operations Center, CNH's FieldOps, Raven, Topcon, and AgLeader without translation issues or proprietary lock-in. If you're running a mixed brand fleet, which describes most serious US grain operations in 2026, your Fendt data flows into whatever farm management software your agronomist and your lender are already using. That openness is a deliberate strategic choice by AGO, and it removes the most common objection to adopting new precision ag platforms. The concern that you're locking yourself into a single brand ecosystem that becomes a liability when you buy your next tractor from a different manufacturer. The VarioDoc Pro documentation system is the data collection foundation that makes everything else in Fendt's precision stack work. Every Fendt machine with a Vario Terminal 10.4-inch display runs VarioDoc as standard, and the Pro version adds prescription map execution on top of automatic data collection. As the machine works, VarioDoc Pro records every relevant parameter automatically: applied rates, actual versus planned coverage, field boundaries, machine settings, and exports the complete record in standardized ISO XML format that flows directly into your farm management system without any manual data entry. For operations that have been manually logging field records or relying on operator memory and end-of-day paperwork, the automatic documentation removes a real labor cost from your management overhead and builds the year-over-year field data history that drives good variable rate prescription development. You cannot write a good fertility prescription for a field you don't have 3 years of reliable yield and application data on. VarioDoc Pro builds that data automatically every season without asking your operators to do anything differently. The variable rate control system, operating on top of VarioDoc Pro, is where Fendt's platform generates direct input cost savings that show up on your operating expense statement. Variable rate control delivers seeds, pesticides, and fertilizers at prescription rates that vary by management zone across every field. Matching application rates to what each specific zone actually needs based on soil sample data, satellite imagery, and yield history. On a corn operation running variable rate nitrogen management. Applying higher rates in productive bottom ground that can return 220 bushel corn and lower rates on eroded hilltops that won't return above 140 bushels regardless of fertility input. It's realistic to reduce total nitrogen expenditure by 15 to 20% while maintaining yield in the zones that justify full investment. At 2026 fertilizer prices, which have been climbing due to energy market disruptions and global supply chain pressure, with nitrogen and potash costs spiking significantly in early 2026. A 15% nitrogen reduction on a 3,000-acre corn operation is a budget improvement that changes the financial character of your growing season before you plant the first seed. And because the prescription maps improve every year, as VarioDoc Pro adds another season of yield and application data to your field history, the savings compound over time. The fifth year of variable rate management delivers better ROI than the first, because the prescriptions are more precisely calibrated to what your ground actually does. The VarioGuide precision guidance system on Fendt maintains plus or minus 2.5 centimeters with RTK correction, and the financial math on guidance precision is consistently underestimated in ROI calculations. At 2.5 centimeter accuracy, your overlap on a spray pass is effectively zero. At the 12 to 15 centimeter accuracy of WS-corrected guidance that many operations are still running in 2026, you're carrying 4 to 6 inches of deliberate overlap to avoid skips, meaning you're covering 3 to 5% more ground than your actual field acreage on every pass. On a 1,000-acre spray program at $25 per acre total herbicide cost, 5% overlap means you're buying and applying $250 worth of product per pass that you don't need. Run 3 spray passes per season, and that overlap cost is $3,550 on $1,000 acres. Scale to a 3,000-acre operation, and you're at over $11,000 per season in unnecessary product cost from guidance in precision alone, before accounting for the fuel and time cost of covering the extra ground. The 2.5 centimeter VarioGuide accuracy eliminates essentially all of that waste, and the payback on the guidance upgrade investment is measured in seasons on any operation running significant spray acreage. The new Fendt 1000 Vario Gen 4 that began delivery in 2026 brings factory-integrated PTX Outrun autonomy capability to all 4 models in the lineup from 426 to 550 horsepower. Outrun was previously retrofit only. Now it ships from the factory fully integrated and calibrated, removing the installation complexity and compatibility uncertainty that made some operations hesitant about the retrofit path. The Optimum planter that Fendt launched for the 2026 pre-sale is the brand's first stack-fold planter for the US market, shipping with precision planting technology integrated from the factory. 2020 Gen 3 monitoring, VSET 2 meters with V-Drive electric individual row drives, and Delta Force individual row downforce control. The agronomic case for individual row electric drive is years deep in university research. Consistent seed spacing and depth across variable soil conditions drives more uniform emergence, more uniform canopy closure, and measurably better final yield in corn and soybeans on ground with any topographic or soil type variability. That yield benefit compounds across every acre the planter covers in every season of its service life, making the precision planting investment a long-term ROI argument that gets stronger every year. Your yield maps show the drag from inconsistent emergence. Right here at Farm Gear Pro. If this breakdown is delivering real, verified, actionable analysis on a technology decision that will affect your cost structure for the next decade, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We verify every number before it goes in a script, and we don't take equipment company money to influence what we say. That independence is the whole point. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, and let's get into the deer side. Because the see and spray numbers alone are worth understanding in full detail before you make another spray season decision. John Deere's autonomous technology platform in 2026 is built around a fundamentally different value argument than Fendt's precision system approach. And the distinction matters when you're deciding where to put your technology investment budget. Fendt is selling input efficiency, Squeeze more profit out of every dollar of inputs you're already buying. Deere is increasingly selling labor efficiency and operational scale. Do more field work with less dependence on the qualified human operators that are getting harder and more expensive to find every year. That labor shortage is real. It's documented across every major agricultural region in the US, and it's getting structurally worse as the agricultural workforce ages and fewer young people enter farm operation roles. The operations most exposed to that labor cost and availability pressure are large acre grain farms and custom operators running multiple machines during the narrow planting and tillage windows that define the entire season's financial outcome. See and Spray is the centerpiece of Deere's technology ROI story. And the 2025 data is strong enough to lead any serious technology evaluation. Across more than 5 million acres in 2025, See and Spray customers reduced non-residual herbicide use by an average of nearly 50%, saving nearly 31 million gallons of herbicide mix in a single season, in a year with elevated weed pressure and frequent corn belt rains. The system scans more than 2,500 square feet of canopy per second at speeds up to 15 miles per hour, identifying individual weeds through Blue River Technologies' machine learning algorithms and firing only the specific ExactApply nozzles directly above each weed. Clean ground gets no product. The per-nozzle precision means herbicide goes exactly where weed pressure is present and nowhere else, delivering the near 50% volume reduction the 2025 data reflects even under real operational stress conditions. Third-party researchers across 7 US states found soybean yields averaged 2 bushels per acre higher with See and Spray compared to conventional broadcast applications, with some locations seeing up to 4.8 bushels per acre improvement. Beck's Hybrids ran a separate multi-location study in 2024 that confirmed the yield benefit independently. The mechanism is straightforward. Soybean plants not exposed to unnecessary herbicide chemistry put the metabolic energy they would have spent on stress response directly into grain fill instead. At $11 per bushel soybeans in 2026, a 2 bushel per acre improvement across 1,000 soybean acres is $22,000 of additional revenue in a single season that stacks on top of the herbicide savings, not instead of it. That combined ROI, input savings plus yield improvement, makes See and Spray one of the strongest financial cases for any individual precision ag technology investment currently available to US grain farmers. Deere's application. Savings guarantee pricing structure removes the financial risk from the adoption decision in a way that's genuinely different from how most precision ag technology is sold. Farmers pay on a per-acre fee basis, $1 per fallow acre or $5 per in-crop acre. Based on the unsprayed area the system actually identifies. If it doesn't find enough clean ground to generate savings exceeding the fee, you don't pay. The cost scales directly with the value delivered. For 2026, Deere added an unlimited annual license option for custom applicators and high-volume operations wanting predictable annual cost planning rather than variable per-acre charges. That pricing flexibility makes See and Spray accessible across a broader range of farm sizes and spray volumes than a fixed per-machine annual license would allow. And it's the reason the technology reached 5 million acres in 2025 rather than remaining a premium-only adoption story. The Generation 2 Perception System autonomy kits that Deere began distributing in 2025 with full 2026 availability allow John Deere tractors to run tillage passes autonomously. Obstacle detection, boundary recognition, automatic headland turns, terrain-responsive speed adjustment, without an operator in the cab, monitored remotely through Operations Center Mobile on a phone or tablet. One person can supervise multiple autonomous machines running simultaneously from anywhere on the operation with a cell signal. Deere's platform can cover more than 325 acres in a 24-hour period on tillage work, a rate that human-operated single tractor setups cannot sustain because it requires running through the night without shift changes or fatigue stops. For northern Corn Belt operations where late harvests combined with early freeze-up risk compress the fall tillage window to the point where finishing on time is genuinely uncertain, those autonomous overnight hours aren't a productivity bonus. They're the difference between finishing and not finishing, which is a financial difference you can calculate directly based on your spring soil condition goals and what compacted, untilled ground costs you in yield the following season. The JD Link connectivity infrastructure, underlying all of Deere's precision and autonomous systems, delivers long-term operational value that compounds across the full life of the equipment. Real-time machine performance data, field-level yield maps, application records with geospatial precision, and predictive fault diagnostics flow continuously through Operations Center and are accessible from any internet-connected device. For an operation running multiple machines across multiple fields during planting or harvest, that real-time visibility means you're not waiting until end of day to find out your planter had a meter issue on field 7. You're seeing the population drop on your phone while it's happening and redirecting your service tech before the planter finishes the pass. That proactive management capability reduces yield damage from undetected equipment issues, shortens the time between fault occurrence and repair completion, and gives your agronomist field-level performance data in real time that improves the quality of every agronomic decision made during the season. Here is the bottom line. The direct answer Farm Gear Pro always delivers. If your operating expense statement shows fertilizer, seed, and herbicide as your fastest-growing cost lines, which describes the majority of Corn Belt operations, given what input prices have done over the past 3 years, Fendt's Precision System platform attacks those costs directly. Variable Rate Control and VarioDoc Pro reduce fertilizer expenditure by matching application rates to actual yield potential. The 2.5 centimeter Vario Guide eliminates overlap waste on every single field pass. The Farm Engage connectivity, included free for 3 years, compounds the input efficiency gains across the full ownership period, as prescription accuracy improves season over season. If your operating expense statement shows labor as your fastest growing line item, if you're paying premium rates for qualified operators during critical windows, losing acres to timing because you can't get enough operator hours when weather cooperates, or running a custom application business constrained by operator availability, John Deere's autonomous technology platform addresses that problem more directly than anything else currently available. The 50% herbicide reduction and 2 bushel per acre yield improvement from See and Spray across 5 million verified 2025 acres is the strongest independently confirmed technology ROI data point in agricultural precision technology right now. The performance-based pricing removes financial risk from the adoption decision. The Generation 2 autonomous tillage kits extend your daily working hours without adding operator cost in a way that changes your operational math on any large acre operation, where timing is the binding constraint. Both platforms belong on a serious modern farming operation. They're not competing for the same budget dollar. They address different cost problems. The operations that will have the strongest financial position 5 years from now are building both input efficiency and labor efficiency into their technology strategy today. Figure out which problem is costing you more right now. Start there. Build the other half when cash flow supports it. That's how you manage technology investment, the same way you manage every other capital decision on your operation. With real data, clear priorities, and a direct line between the investment and the cost it eliminates. Thanks for watching Farm Gear Pro. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.